watching America Trends. I'm Mary Burt-Godwin. And there's a lot of things I think a lot of us suffer from, which are maybe sometimes perfectionism or limiting beliefs or, trying too hard to be something that the world wants us to be, that maybe is not in our being and who we really are. So I'm really excited to introduce you to our next guest. She is the founder of Hilo CRM and Limitless Entrepreneur Coaching. She is a human design expert, and I was kind of going through her website, and I can't wait to find out all about this process of figuring out who we are and trying to overcome these limiting beliefs. Her name is Nicole Laino. Welcome to America Trends.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, I'm really excited to talk to you. I have so many questions for you. First, I wanted to know a little bit about your background, because I was reading that you were first an actress in Hollywood. And so I wanted to hear how you transitioned from the acting world into being an entrepreneur yourself and coming up with this human design concept.
Yeah, so human design, I can't take credit for that. That's a system that has been around for a while. It's just something that I have really devoted a lot of my life to, because it's truly profound. I was an actress, and then I worked on Wall Street. So those two things, they kind of led me to like the creativity and then the business acumen. They have a baby and you get entrepreneurship. So I think that's how I kind of ended up where I am now, and how that kind of that winding road sort of leads me back to like a place where I really belong. And it actually does tie back to my human design, which we can talk about if you want, but I'm a manifesting generator in human design. There are 5 types. That is the category that I fall into. And we're kind of meant to pick up the breadcrumbs on the road of life, do what lights us up, what feels right in the moment, and shift when it doesn't. And it led me right to here. So that's kind of my little journey to getting to be an entrepreneur.
Okay, I love that story. And I love, my life that landed me here has all these different pieces of my life that were 6 separate job titles that I had in my life. And all of a sudden they landed me at a production company doing, wearing a bunch of different hats, but under one umbrella. And it's like, I couldn't have scripted it to be that way. And I just kind of followed the way life goes. So I actually do want to do this human design test, but tell me about, so you didn't create it, but tell me about the inception of this and how you came in to discover it and how you embraced it. And what is it actually? Break it down for that.
Sure. We'll start there. What is human design?
Yeah.
So human design is actually, it is a system that kind of takes 5 ancient mystical systems and brings them together into one chart that we call the body graph. It's an energetic blueprint of who you are, what you are designed to be here in this world. It kind of gives you a sense of your purpose. And I always say that it gives you permission to be exactly who you were designed to be. It gives you permission to be yourself and to be the exceptional version of yourself that you are. It combines the 5 systems that it combines are the Kabbalah tree of life, the Chinese I Ching, the Hindu chakra system, astrology, and quantum physics. So it takes some of those things and puts them together and gives us this chart that gives us some colored shapes. If you looked at it, when you run your chart, most people are very confused by it. I certainly was when I first ran mine. But when you dive into it, you just start to see the truth of it. And what's really remarkable about it is that there's, unlike a lot of other systems, it actually gives you a process for what to do with what you learn in the chart.
Well, that is important, because a lot of times I'll take these quizzes or whatever, and then it's just like, okay, that's it. Go have fun with your information. But it is nice to know now what that means for me as a person. Now, taking the test, I saw on your website you could take the quiz, and I clicked on it quickly, and it asked for some very basic information about me to first start it. But I'm assuming that once you go through it, you have to provide, what kind of information do you provide?
It's actually based on your birth date and your birth time and your birth location, which is really just to give us a consistent time zone. So that's the only reason why we need your location. But it's much more like astrology in that respect. There's nothing subjective about it, which is sort of another thing that I really love about it, because a lot of personality tests out there, you take it one day and you get one result, and then you take it another time, maybe when you've gone through some other things in your life, and you get a different result.
Yeah.
And instead, and it also doesn't take you 2 hours to fill out the quiz. It's literally just,
so it is just that information. That's all you have to put in.
That's all you have to put in. And then it gives you your chart automatically. It's generated from that.
Wow. So yeah, very much like astrology based on your time of year, right? And I don't follow astrology to a T, but I do know that I'm an Aries and I'm on the cusp, and I do connect a lot with a lot of things I read about Aries and Pisces. And so there's, sometimes I'll click on the newspaper one that's going to tell me about my love life, and that's not necessarily accurate, or when I'm going to be whatever. But the general gist of my personality, it hits it pretty square on the head.
And I always use that analogy. I always use astrology to kind of get people into this, to figure out like what they're dealing with. If you resonate with your sun sign, your regular astrology, your chart, normally, I'm a Virgo. I definitely resonate with being a Virgo. That's a really big bucket. And then I always say, like, there's that thing out called the birthday book, where if you read about your birthday and it would tell you more detail, that's like the birthday book getting to that level of detail. Human design is that on steroids. It's that times like a million. There's such a level of differentiation here, because we do go into, there are 64 gates that are all very, very finite, very fine-tuned themes of energy, of things that can be expressed by you. So it does give us this really really deep and detailed level of differentiation for everyone. So even if somebody has the same birthday as you, even if they were born at almost the same time, there's going to be something different. There's going to be something that sets you apart from them, and that's your magic. And that's really the power of this. That's how I use it, is I want to show people what their magic is. And usually they know. They've just been hiding from it in some way. They've either been told they've been too much, so they're afraid to fully lean into it, or they're so focused on the things that they were told that they should be and they don't feel like they're enough of, that they pour all of their energy into that.
Yeah.
And this gives us a map to kind of really hone in on this. This is you. What feels true to you here, and how can we bringing you into the highest expression of that?
Well, I love that concept. And I do think, what I started with is this concept of perfectionism, or what we're seeing on Instagram, what we see with models and influencers, and what we should be, that society tells us so, and what really who we are. And I'm dealing with this in a different way with daughters that are going to be going to college, or, applying to college, and the pressure of, oh, they should have straight A's, or they should do this, and I really reassess it constantly based on, this is what society is telling me, and they're on their own journey. And so I don't know, I'm going down a rabbit hole there, but I want to talk about how, once people get this information and they figure out their human design, what do you call it, their human design persona, or what's the term for that?
So we have a human design type. There are 5 types. You get bucketed into one of those categories. And the type really tells you, that gives you your strategy, and kind of tells you how you can start to use it. That gives you your first piece of like actionable information for your particular type. So, but really what type is it tells you how your energy is most efficiently used.
Okay, I love that. And so then when we get that, I think that I saw on your site, people can book a session with you to kind of do what you were saying, is give them then maybe some tools, and where there would go be a guidepost for them of how to use that information, right?
Yes, I do readings. So those are one-off if you're just interested in knowing and diving deeper into your chart and having it read for you, because it is difficult to read on your own. I do readings where I'll dive through kind of what is consistent for you. What are the themes that are here for you to put out in the world? Now, it doesn't mean that we can't be the other things. We're just not going to be them all the time. We're going to experience them in a little bit more of a variable way. So for instance, like if somebody has there's an ego center, which is the center of drive, determination, keeping your commitments, staying in integrity, proving yourself, having something to prove. I have a defined ego. I do kind of have something to prove. That is a natural thing for me to feel driven by. But when someone has that center undefined, it means that they're going to have that theme come and go. It's going to be experienced sometimes and not all the time. But what does society tell us? We should be driven all the time. We should be proving ourselves. Just do it. Go out there and muscle through. That's really out of alignment for a lot of people. And when they let go of trying to be it all the time, they're free to be it when it's correct for them, when it is right for them. And it creates a lot of freedom. And honestly, it saves people from a lot of burnout.
I love this concept because there's times when I am sitting on the couch and I feel that bit of guilt for just not doing anything. And I think how busy I am. And I think, you know what, I'm going to enjoy this time. And maybe this is just my body telling me I need to sit on the couch and binge a little more New Girl. Hey, we have to take a break, but will you stick around for another segment?
Absolutely.
Okay, great. We have Nicole Laino Official on Instagram, and Nicole Laino, LAINO.me is her website. Limitless Entrepreneur, I'm going to ask you about your podcast that you have and how entrepreneurs can use this information to improve their business. So Nicole Laino is coming back right after this quick break. You're watching America Trends, and you can find us on social media at America Trends TV on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And we will be back right after this.